The Prime card has ended around 2 days ago, and first of all, this card might go down as one of the biggest pay-per-view buys in a card, in possibly the top 15 boxing cards of all time. It was that big, it was huge, and pay-per-view wise, interest wise, the card smashed out of the park. But when you talk about did the card deliver, I just think the card was terrible actually when it came to delivering, and I'll explain why. First of all, we learned that actual traditional fighters and boxers need to be kept away from crossover boxing completely because they're ruining it. First, you have Tommy Fury, Anthony Taylor, Dylan Dennis, and I believe that's it. Idris Virgo, basically all almost on the same card. And yeah, the prelims were for the most part just bad because we had Essex was a DTG, two influencers, good, right? The build-up was not that great, and Essex was talking so confidently. I'm a fan of Essex's music. With DTG, I've heard one song, and DTG definitely improved in the fight. Essex came out with the Andy Warsky hands. I mean, the first thing you learn in boxing is how you keep your hands, right? You have this here, usually, or you have no hands if you're Logan Paul. Essex comes out like this. That means you haven't had a day of training, in my opinion, and he just hadn't worked hard at all, it seemed, and got knocked out in the first round, and then was complaining like it was a bad stoppage or something. Like he had nothing to offer in that fight. And then you had the women's fight, which was just terrible. Astrid Wett had tons more experience than Alexia Grace. Couldn't stop her, just dropped her once. And just the same thing again and again for 4 rounds. It got repetitive and boring. And just not great. The build-up was good though, yeah. Then you had Chase Zimmer Tempo Arts, in which Chase Zimmer got robbed. And that left a sour taste in my mouth. And yeah, this robbery is never good on a boxing card for the most part. And then you had the main event of the prelims, Swarms versus a short notice at Ed Matthews. Now obviously it's short notice, so there's kind of a story there, can't really be a lot of build up. And Ed Matthews knocked Swarms the F out, which was amazing knockout. They had the wrong camera angle up, so we just missed the knockout. Even in the replays you can't see the knockout. They had the worst camera angle possible, and you missed the knockout. And then Swarms was limping, his foot was fine, and then he was limping. It was just weird. And again, a good moment, slightly ruined, but still a good moment. An average prelims, not a worthy of the prime card, as they were calling it. Then you had the main card, which Whindersson, my mate Nate, which was just kind of boring. I mean, we got them just boxing and being respectful, and that's just not what we watch crossover boxing for. They were just boxing, low level. No one wants to watch low level boxing unless there's something interesting, like a guy bouncing like KSI does usually. So the fight was just average, boring, and my mate Nate won. So Whindersson Nunes, a cash cow potentially, has been lost. A future KSI Logan Paul-esque figure has been lost, because he has more followers than I think everyone in the crossover boxing scene, but he's lost twice, which is bad for business. And just yeah, the tag team fight, which was very entertaining. I loved it. Loved Alex Wasabi getting dropped twice. Just amazing, beautiful to watch, and a good fight. The draw was correct in my opinion as well. Then you had I forget, I think it was Dean Wali 2, which delivered to the best of its ability, because the first fight was amazing. The second fight was really good as well. And yeah, it's so far the main card, 2 fights have delivered out of 3. I feel like I'm missing a fight in between, but yeah, you had Salt Papi and Slim. Great ending to the fight, amazing ending. The story of Slim coming back and beating Salt Papi, Slim being the underdog and everything, great. The first 3 rounds were dog shit to watch, honestly. Salt Papi just looked slow in there. The offense wasn't as great as we've seen from Salt Papi, and they were just like short boxing in very small range, and then I think the first proper normal power shot Slim threw hurt Papi, and Papi, a fucking idiot, honestly. He just he gets hit with a big shot and he's smiling and doing this whole shake of the head, and then he gets knocked out, and that was just beautiful to watch, honestly. Salt Papi, I've said it before in the predictions video, he's a fucking idiot. He bought all the hype. He thinks he's some big name. He's not. Okay, he doesn't even have 1 million subscribers. He thinks he's some big name. Misfit should pay him more and stuff. No one knew you before this. Just shut the fuck up and fight. These influencers, boxers are acting like fighters now, which is annoying to watch and just not entertaining. And Salt Papi got knocked out and got stopped when he got back up. Beautiful to watch, honestly. And Slim deserves a big fight, kind of, not against JJ or Logan, obviously. Actually, Logan versus Slim would be entertaining, but the weight difference is too much, 30 pounds difference, so maybe not that. But yeah, an entertaining ending to a pretty boring fight. Then you had the co-main event, Logan versus Dylan. Now that whole build-up fight being made, fight happening, it's cinema, honestly. The build-up was amazing, the press conferences were amazing, the ups and downs. But the fight, man, it was good and bad, because it left me wanting a proper satisfying conclusion. Dylan didn't just... At first I thought Dylan didn't want to fight, but that's wrong, because Dylan was trying to fight in the first round, and then he just realized that Logan has the range and he'll have to get to Logan, and before he gets to Logan he'll eat a few shots, and he didn't want to do that. So he just resorted to smiling. You can see in my reaction video, I keep saying before the round, oh, Dylan's gonna start now, Dylan's gonna start now. I had hope, and I didn't want Dylan to win, but I still had hope that he would at least fight. And then there was 10 seconds left, and Dylan hadn't even went for the whole ending thing where he went for the guillotine and everything. The round expired, and then Dylan started doing that. So I don't know why it was scored as a DQ. It's very annoying and a bad ending. It should have been a UD win, and because the time had run out, you can check it on the fight, the time ran out of the round, and they're like, yeah, DQ. Very annoying. But it's okay, because we've got the main event, 2 undefeated fighters, hungry lions, young, gonna fight, and they just clinched for 6 rounds. And a terrible main event, unwatchable, as Adil Helwani said. I totally agree. Now, was it a robbery? I don't know. I think it was a robbery. But even in my live reaction, which is on the channel, I said it's a close fight, but I think KSI edges it. But looking back, round 1 and 2, I thought KSI won clearly. Round 2 was a 10-8 because of the point deduction. Round 3 and 4, I thought Tommy won clearly. Round 5 was very close, and round 6 was very close. And to score it for Tommy, I just think it was just weird. It should have been at least a draw, in my opinion. But a bad ending, a bad main event, just unwatchable. KSI, as much as he's complaining, he just had the worst game plan, in my opinion. Again and again, he would bounce, he would throw the 1-2 and clinch. And his coach was saying that he told KSI before the last round to not go for the knockout. They're up on points, which is just terrible advice. And it just wasn't good at all. It wasn't smart. KSI literally did the same thing again and again and again, and it worked for somewhat. I mean, he lost obviously, but it was working. He was able to shut down a lot of Tommy's offense. But just terrible, man. He would bounce, he was going 1-2 and clinch. It was frustrating to watch. Honestly, the referee should have taken a point off of both of them for clinching as well. And the fight, it wasn't even a fight, it wasn't even a boxing match. It wasn't a boxing match, they just clinched. There was more clinching, and Andrew Schultz said this as well. There was more jiu-jitsu in KSI versus Tommy Fury than Logan Paul and Dylan Danis. So yeah, I thought overall the prime card under-delivered quite a bit. Very unentertaining in the end. Left a sour taste in my mouth and left me unsatisfied, which sounds very sus, honestly. But yeah, just not fun. Was it the Jarvis call out as well for Slim? It just didn't make any sense, and then Slim called it out as well, which made it more awkward. And yeah, the whole thing just... the event just didn't go as good as it should have. But yeah, so the prime card, the whole saga has ended finally. It'll be exciting to see if the decision gets appealed successfully, at least, and what the commission says about KSI's Atomic Fury. And it'll be interesting to see how Misfits does the next event. They have Jarvis on there, should be interesting. But yeah, that's my Prime card thoughts, final thoughts on the Prime card, something like that. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed all the live reactions on the Prime card, and the predictions are on the channel. You can check them out. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and goodbye.